at least for me, has been my opponent not knowing what I'm going to do. It's the unpredictability from it. So it's all about being able to do the same different types of serve, but from the same start, from the same motion, and from the same position pretty much, and not give away as little as possible so they have as little time to be able to set up and figure themselves out, and that way I can keep them out of rhythm and off balance as much as possible and sort of take away that comfort from them. So I'll start off basic. Basic serve.
That's your warm-up serve.
So, we're getting there. It is still quite early. When I was younger, I used to wake up and train at this time. Now I sort of have to comfort of not having to get up this time. But there's three targets when it comes to serving that are the most important. We can go feet, center of the court, go wide, and you also have to go body. You don't always necessarily go for the ace. You have to go to make your opponent think and make them as uncomfortable as possible. To be honest, I feel pretty confident I'm doing it pretty accurately close to the lines, so I don't go for the body serve that much, unless I'm having a bit more difficulty that day, and then I take it as it goes. So next I'll go for a slightly wide serve, and I will try to hit Bruce.
I think he heard you.
That most people necessarily don't get to see or can't really experience on TV just visually until it really happens to you. With tennis in general, it's not just the serve, it's the different variations of spin and what you can actually do to the ball. You slice the ball over, slide away a bit more, you kick the ball, you can actually make it jump higher, and you can actually make it kick away the other way. So you try to sort of use these things, and it's actually one reason why sometimes it's considered as a server an advantage to be a lefty, because you're able to slide away to the opposite side of the more dominant hands of most righties on that side. So you try to use these things as much as you can to keep everybody sort of guessing and not knowing. The tennis can be very long. We don't know how long you're going to play. You can play an hour and a half. You can play 45 minutes if it goes really well that day, or if it goes really badly and you're not doing too well that day. Or you can play 5.5 hours. So you never want to sort of give anybody a peace of mind that, okay, this is going to be okay, let's just keep going, because that's sort of when players can get in that comfort zone, that's when things tend to get most dangerous for you, and they will just start playing progressively better and better, and it's just going to be a harder time for you. So the more uneasy you make your opponent feel, the more that pays off either right away or it pays off over a longer term of time throughout the tennis match. The beauty of tennis is there's actually two sort of that really stand out. We play a lot of weeks, and therefore whatever happened last week you can sort of erase quickly and try to become better the next week. And also you can lose a lot of points in a tennis match, and you can make a lot of mistakes, up to 100 times or more, and still find a way to win a match, because there is no time limit, there is nothing. So tennis is about learning to sort of manage that. There's really probably 2 or 3 matches where you feel completely great throughout the whole year, and every other match you're just sort of trying to manage things as they come. There's nobody that can take over for us. You have to play with things in your body. You're gonna have to play with pains. You're gonna have to play when things aren't going well on the court, things aren't going well off the court. So you just have to sort of always be constantly trying to figure out stuff as it happens to you and learning just to deal with it as best as you can. And I think that's one reason why probably the average of the top players has gone up over the last generation or so, because guys can learn to deal with their bodies better. They take a bit more care of themselves. They put a bit more preparation into it, and their bodies can handle more, and therefore they can, for more years, they can play those 50, 70, 80 matches that they need to play to stay at the top of the game.
I touched it! That's scary. I've been hit by one. It hurts. Yes. Andrew got hit. Andrew got hit.